Hello and welcome back to our second edition of a witchy video. This is to go in our playlist of witchy videos. This is for my witchy subs that requested that I do a witch video, and for anybody who doesn't fuck with magic and they're just curious and want to check it out and I don't know, see what bullshit they think I'm saying, or have a genuine interest and just want to watch it. So that's what this is for. I'm not going to be teaching you how to make anything to harm anybody. I'm not going to be teaching you how to do any baneful magic whatsoever. I know that's shocking. As a dark witch, you know, we wake up with a hit list, and then we just go down that list and we curse and hex people all day. That's what we do. That's all we do. No, we don't, okay? So let's bust that myth right there. As a dark witch doing black magic, we do a lot of work that has nothing to do with baneful magic at all. I do far less cursing and hexing than I do any other type of working. Far, far, far less. And for me personally, and I'm speaking for me, not any other witch, just me, hexing and cursing is a last resort for me. It's defensive magic for me. It's in justified anger, and that is when I use it. Other than that, I don't. What I'm talking about today, I'm not even going to teach you how to do a spell with candles. I'm not even doing that because we're talking about candle divination today. A friend of mine, Tina, asked me actually if I would do this video. And I have to go briefly look at some notes here and there because I have not done candle divination in a while. I'm the type of witch that when I do a working, I don't check in on it. I don't do a divination and see how it's going. I do it, I know that it's going to work, and then I leave it alone. And that's not to sound arrogant. It's just that I've been doing this for so long that I just don't do that anymore. I used to in the beginning. I used to constantly check, how is my working going? And when I say working, know that I mean spell work. That's just the term that I grew up with, workings. Workings equals spells, just so there's no confusion. Um, and like I said, it's not to sound arrogant. It's just that I've been doing it for so long that I personally don't feel the need to check in on it. Um, I also don't suggest that you constantly check in on a working that you've done. If you want to check it maybe once, go for it. But don't put so much doubt in your head that maybe your working isn't happening and you keep checking on it and you keep checking on it and you keep fucking checking on it because your self-doubt and your own manifestation and workings is going to hinder what you're trying to obtain or what you're trying to manipulate to happen. So just keep that in mind. As far as what we're talking about in candle work, the first thing that I would ask you or suggest for you to do is know your colors. Know what colors coincide with what. For example, I'm going to be doing a money spell later. You can use a green candle for money spells. It's about the symbolism and whatever helps you to envision what it is you're trying to manifest. What helps you see it manifesting. Green is representative of money in the States anyways. So a green candle, if you use whatever color it is that your money is in whatever country you live in. Even I have a gold candle. It's a candle that I actually wrapped in real 24 karat gold leafing. This is representative of money. So symbology, right? It helps you set your intent. It helps you visualize what it is you're doing. So know the colors that you're working with. If you're on a specific path or tradition and you're asking or requesting help from gods, goddesses, deities, your ancestors, ancient gods, or demons as most of you call them, know their color. If you're going to request their help, then you might want to incorporate the color of candle that they like. So know your candle colors. Pink for attraction. Um, you know, if you're working on a person, you may use a color of a candle that's their favorite color, which would connect to them. So it's really easy to find. I'm not going to go through all the candle colors with you. That's not what this is about. This is about candle divination and the reading of the candle, whether that be on a working of a person or a working of a situation. I'm not even going to get into reading for somebody sitting in front of you. I don't like to do readings for people because you have to be both objective and subjective when you do that. Because what they see matters, yes, but what you see matters also. And I found that if you give somebody information that they don't like, they will try to overtake the reading and tell you what it means. And that just fucking gets on my nerves. You came to me for the divination. Don't tell me what the fuck something means. Which is why I'm not good at candle readings or any readings really for people, because I don't have the patience to be subjective and objective. So we're not talking about reading people. So we're going to talk about simply how to read a candle for working on a person or on a situation. Okay? So let's just get into it. There are three types also of candle divination. There's pyromancy, which is the reading of the flame, which is what we're focusing on and only what we're focusing on today. There's ceromancy, which is the reading of the wax, because wax melts and takes certain shapes and forms, which you need to ascertain what they mean. And then there's capnomancy, which is the divination of smoke, because smoke takes shapes as well. For example, I'm a smoker. Yeah, it's out there. I smoke cigarettes. It's bad for me. Whatever. Don't matter. Don't care. I'm not here for that. But I will sometimes notice that the smoke will take shape. Even in my incense, I'll see stuff. So it's about interpretation. It's about what I see and what my ancient gods are telling me it means, what my ancestors might be telling me it means. But it's a super long video to do all three, so we're going to focus just on pyromancy. So when you first light your candle, expect it to be shaky. It has to settle for a minute. Don't start reading into your shit as soon as you light your candle. You have to give it time to settle, collect its energy. Also state your intention out loud before you're doing your candle reading, your candle divination. Because if you don't state it out loud, then whomever you're working with, or if you're just, I don't know, psychic, I guess, and I don't say that to be mean, yeah. Anyways, so state your intentions out loud. This is what I want to know. This is what I'm trying to obtain knowledge on. This is what I'm checking on. This is who I'm checking on. Then light your candle. What I do is meditate while the candle is settling. And then after it's settled, and it will, then I will begin the reading. So when you first light your candle and it's shaking all around and it's just trying to settle, it means nothing. It's just settling. So after that, if the candle, once the candle is set, if the candle flame is leaning to the right, that means that the person you've done a working on is yielding to your magic. They're feeling the energy. They're feeling the effects. If it's for a situation you're looking into, same thing. You know that the situation is yielding for you. It's feeling the energy. It's feeling your magic, your Osha, whatever you want to call it, depending on what tradition you're in. If it's leaning to the left, obviously that's the opposite. There's some resistance there. If it's for a person you did a working on, that means they're resisting the working that you've done. If it's a situation, the situation is being resisted, and it basically just means that it probably won't happen right away. There's some resistance there, so don't expect immediate results. If you have a candle where the flame is weak It's barely lit. You've lit it, but it's real small. And you're doing a reading on a person. So you've done a working on a person, and you're looking into how that's going. Usually that means that they're depressed, sad, ill. And depending on what working you did, that could be a good sign or a bad sign for you. Just depends on what you did. If you did baneful magic, that'd probably be a good sign. If you did a healing working on them, and you see that, that's not a good sign, and probably means you failed at that one. Yeah, did a healing spell on somebody, and you got a weak flame. That's not how you want that person to feel, right? So somebody called me, and this video may be a little chopped up. Somebody fucked up the middle of my recording. Go figure. Back to weak flame. So weak flame on a person, already discussed that. I'll try to edit it so it's a little smoother. If you're reading a situation on a weak, barely lit flame, that means you have little to no control over the situation. And depending on your advancement level and how you feel about it, you can either go back and try to redo it, or leave it alone. Let it go. It really depends. For me, it depends on the working that I've done. With hexing work, if I were to check in on it, which I wouldn't, but if I were and it was weakly lit and was telling me I have no control over it, I would say fuck that. Yes, I do. Gonna definitely tweak some shit and call upon my ancient gods to what the fuck. You guys need to get in there and make this shit happen. If it's something else, I may just let it go. Also understand that when you're in a tradition where you work with ancient gods, deities, goddesses, whatever, ancestors, maybe that situation they feel isn't for you. What you tried to manifest isn't something that was meant for you, and you need to let it go. Again, these are all personal preferences and what you believe. And you'll get there as you further get along your path. Or you may be there already, and some of you are going, yeah, I know what you're talking about, girl. For the very beginners, you'll get there. This is just a very basic video on how to read the flame. If you have a flickering, barely lit candle, that person is suffering, in distress, fearful. Again, depending on what you did, what working you did for that person, that is either good news or bad news. So it depends on if you did something good for them or if you did baneful. Baneful, that's a good sign, and that's what you want to see. Good magic, not what you want to see. If it's a situation in which you tried to manifest, did working on, it usually means it's shaky. Probably is going to fizzle out. Yeah, so it may work, but won't last very long. I'm speaking a little faster because a lot of people are calling me for some reason, fucking with me, so I'm trying to get this done quickly before I have to get cut off again. Anyways, a barely lit candle leaning towards you, working on a person, that if you're checking in on it, it could mean that person is remorseful. Usually means that they are. They're remorseful. They feel guilt for what they did. They may even want to make amends. If it's a situation that you're reading, that usually means something needs to be addressed or fixed before the situation can manifest itself. If you have a barely lit flame that's away from you and you're reading on a person, you're checking into a person, that person, they're hurt. They don't want anything to do with you. Nothing. Like repelled by you. Like they just don't. So if you did an attraction spell on somebody and you're checking in to see how that's going, and that candle is barely lit and leaning away from you, then you might want to go try to attract somebody else, because that person just, they're not feeling you. They're just not. If it's for a situation, then it didn't bode well. So again, you may either want to leave it alone, depending on your advancement level, or you may want to go back and retweak what you did. Depends on you, what you want to do. A tall flame. So if you have a flame that's tall, you know, it's burning tall. I don't think I have to explain that too much. Then the person is happy, they're vibrant, they're feeling well. There's a strong connection between you two. So if you're doing a reading on a working you did on a person, and you see that, then that means that they're happy. You know, like I said, there's a strong connection between the two of you, the energy. So if you did, again, I'm going to say an attraction spell, then you can, safe to assume that they're feeling you, okay? They're feeling you, and they're feeling the effects. Also, it could be good or bad depending. Everything is good or bad depending on what type of working you're doing, whether you're doing baneful magic or whether you're not. So learn how to interpret the reading based on the type of work that you did. So if this was a reading for a situation, just know that they're feeling it, for sure. Your magic is working. That's the best I can tell you. It's definitely working. If you have a tall flickering candle, that's a very pronounced yes. Very pronounced. Whatever you did, whether it's a person, situation, it's a yes, a definite. It's like a hard yes, okay? So that's always something you want to see. If you have a tall flame leaning forward, leaning towards you, it usually means that whatever you did is going to manifest quickly. If it's a person that you're working on, then yeah, what you wanted to happen to that person is going to happen quickly, good or bad. If it's a situation, job, money, whatever that you tried to manifest, you can expect it to happen fairly quickly. Have I said quickly enough? Probably said it like 20 fucking times by now. I feel rushed to do this. I got 2 calls already. Keeps fucking up my video, so hopefully it's not too jumpy. If it is, I'm sorry. I did try to record this on my computer, but webcam isn't working for some reason. If you have a candle that keeps going, well, let's not go there yet. If you have a tall flame and it's leaning away from you, and you're reading a working on a person, that you did a working on a person, that person is avoiding you on purpose. Like, they're intentionally avoiding you. Like, hitting that ignore button on the phone when you call, not answering your texts. They're probably repelled by you. They want nothing to do with you. So if you did an attraction spell on that person, that's not a good sign. If you did, however, a hexing on somebody, right? Again, this goes back to what type of working you've done. If you did a hexing on somebody and you're reading that person, and you wanted them to stay away from you, then that would be a good sign. That's what you want them to feel. You want them to be repelled by you. You want them to stay the fuck away from you. So, again, depends on the working that you're doing. If you're reading just a situation, that's not a working on a person, but a situation that you were trying to manifest, that can mean that there's forces working against you, and it may take a little bit of time to manifest. Those results may not happen as quickly as you want them to. Now, if a candle keeps going out, no matter how many times you light it, okay, you light the candle, who's emailing me? You light the candle, and it just keeps going out. Either you got a shitty candle, right? You got a shitty candle, It could mean nothing at all. It could just mean your candle fucking sucks. You got a bum-ass candle, bruh. So, that's what that could be. Or it could mean that the person you did a working on is protected or shielded by magic. Yeah, you can either stop, okay, if you're not that advanced and you're doing a working on someone who's protected by magic and you have little to no experience, my suggestion to you would be to stop. Just stop right there. For those of us that are a little more advanced, you may want to look. Witch wars happen. I don't know what to say to you guys. They do. They're petty, they're stupid, but they fucking happen. And anytime there's a witch war, both witches are, or warlocks, magicians, whatever, we're all protected by magic. And it really just comes down to, may the best motherfucker win. But this video isn't about witch wars. So again, if you're new and you're working on somebody that's protected, I suggest you leave it alone. If you're advanced and you're watching this, you already know what to do, baby, okay? So do it. Go for it. Do it with force and take that motherfucker down. Anyways, I said I wouldn't be teaching you how to harm people, and yet I'm still being fucking baneful. If you have a candle that pops, crackles, it means that it's breaking obstacles. Whether that means that person is shielded by protection or magic or whatever. This is also especially a good sign if you did a hex breaking for somebody. That means that it's breaking that black magic that was put on them. It's breaking through that hex. It's breaking through whatever entities, energies, negativity, bad luck that was put on them. It's breaking it up and getting rid of it. This is a good sign. And that's in reading on somebody that you did a working for to help them get rid of something that another dark witch like myself may have done. So if someone's done a hex or you believe you've been hexed or cursed, I would determine if that is the case, in fact, because it's not always the case. Sometimes you guys just have a string of bad luck and you think you've been cursed. Happens. But if you are, then you might come to me and I would do a working. And if I were to check on it, then that would be a good sign. It's doing what it should be doing. That's what it means. If you have a candle that's releasing smoke, then it's releasing and burning negative energies and entities, okay? Whether that be from a person or whether that be in a situation in where what you're trying to manifest, there are blockages or negative entities or energies that are trying to prevent you from obtaining happiness or obtaining financial stability. It just means that they're burning through that and releasing it and getting rid of it. So that's a good sign too, no matter what you're checking on, person or otherwise, okay? Be creative in your divination working. There are going to be sometimes combinations. You can have a tall candle that's flickering, also low, also popping and crackling. So based off the definitions that I've given you, which are very basic, you just gotta know how to learn how to read it. This is just a stepping stool to get you started. It was just something for a little information. So I'm going to end this video here before I get cut off again. I appreciate you guys for taking time to watch this. I love each and every, I'm not going to say I love you. It's a strong word. I appreciate you guys. I do. I appreciate every one of you that take time out of your day to watch, whether it's a horror story video that I've narrated or something like this. It's appreciated because time is valuable and it can't be given back. And so you to give me your time is not undervalued. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or evening, depending on where you're at or what time you're watching this. Again, I am Raven Lavina, Blessed Beast. Until next time.